Good morning to you all students. Hi students, how are you? I hope you all are fine. Whether you are studying daily portions. So have you all revised till yesterday's portion? So now we are studying about which chapter? Chapter 3, Computer Organization. Isn't it? So welcome to your today's online class. Okay. So till now we have studied in chapter 3. What are the portions we have studied? One part of the portion we have studied about types of microprocessor, their characteristics and their types. What the second part we are studying? Memory devices. So one of the two important questions already you have studied. What are they? Characteristics of microprocessor, then memory hierarchy. Isn't it? Yes. Among that memory devices, we are studying each and every memory device separate. Isn't it? So yesterday we have studied about memory device called RAM. Which memory device you have studied? RAM. So just to recall, what are the things you have studied in RAM? So whether RAM is a temporary storage device or permanent storage device. So RAM is a permanent storage device or temporary storage device? Temporary storage device, isn't it? So we are calling RAM as a volatile memory. So whether the contents, what are the contents you are storing in the RAM memory, is it available for a lost, or if the power went off, whether the content will be available in the RAM memory. Whether it is available? No. So we are calling as an which kind of memory? Volatile memory. And also we have studied kinds of RAM. What are the two types of RAM you have studied? Dynamic RAM and static RAM. What do you mean by dynamic RAM? DRAM, SRAM. What's the difference between DRAM and SRAM? DRAM means you need to give refreshment or refresh. Whether a static RAM needs to give refresh? No. So cost is compared to higher than that. Isn't it? Yes. Today we are going to study about next memory device called read-only memory. Okay. So already we have studied about this read-only memory in the first chapter. Whether this read-only memory is a primary memory or secondary memory. Which memory? Secondary memory, isn't it? So what's the difference between RAM and ROM? That question also already you have studied, isn't it? What's the difference between RAM and ROM? So RAM is a temporary storage memory, but ROM is a permanent storage memory. That's a main difference, isn't it? So this ROM is a special memory. Okay, this ROM is a special kind of memory. So here, while they are manufacturing the ROM itself, they have entered some program. Otherwise, they have preloaded some programs in the ROM itself. Okay, which cannot be modified. That means while they are designing that particular ROM, at that time itself, they will design or they will program. That is called as pre-recorded or pre-program. Okay, once that on the time of designing itself, they are recording or pre-recorded or pre-programming. They are programming particular things and stored in the particular ROM. Okay, we can't be able to modify that program. Okay, understand what's the main thing? So this is a special kind of memory. What's the main important thing? The ROM is already pre-recorded data. What's the meaning of pre-recorded data? At the time of manufacturing itself, they are recorded or pre-loaded some program in the chip itself. Whether we can able to modify that program on the ROM? No, we can't able to modify. Okay, so already one point we have studied in ROM, when the power went off, whether the contents are available in the RAM. Whether contents are available in RAM? No. But in ROM, if the power went off or again you are restarting the system, next time you are going to start the system. So how many times you are going to start the system? At all the times, if you see the contents in the ROM, it becomes permanent. It won't get deleted. Okay. But RAM is not like that. The contents available in the RAM will get delete or erase, but contents in the ROM won't get delete. Okay, so what's the use of this ROM? Already you have studied when you are going to on the computer. At the time, what this ROM will do? So it will check whether all the devices in the sense keyboard, mouse, then inside the CPU, arithmetic logic unit, control, all the things are connected, interconnected properly, or whether they can operate properly. So that's the purpose of ROM. That is called as pre-recorded. How it will check? So by using that pre-recorded program. Okay, so on the designing time they have loaded some program on the ROM, that is called as ROM chip. That program we can't able to modify or remove. Okay, those person are at the time of designing itself, persons are program or pre-recorded some program on the ROM chip. That program we can't able to modify or remove, but we can able to read, but we can able to see, we can able to read the program, but we can't able to edit it or modify it or remove it. Okay, so the next point, that the point they have given. So the contents will always be available when the power went off. If the power went off means also the content will be there. So we are calling ROM is which kind of memory? Non-volatile memory. Understand what are the things we have studied in ROM? So it is a special kind of memory. So at the time of designing itself, they are pre-recorded some programs in the ROM. What's the purpose of ROM? So while we are going to start the computer, initial state it will check whether all the devices are connected properly. How they will check? By the usage of that pre-recorded programs. So once the data we are recorded in the ROM means we can't able to modify the data or delete the data, or we can't able to edit the contents. But we can able to read the content, or we can able to view the particular content. Okay. So if the power went means also the contents will be remain stagnant or static in the ROM. So we are calling ROM as which kind of memory? Non-volatile memory. Understand? So see, this is a picture of a ROM. This is called as a ROM chip. Okay. So yesterday I showed the picture of what? RAM. Isn't it? So that RAM is different from this ROM. So this is like a chip. So this chip will contain pins. So listen, this ROM we are modified or mounted this ROM on the motherboard. Okay, we are going to mount this ROM in where? Motherboard. See, in the motherboard they have molded that two ROMs are there. Is it visible? The green color portion, no, that is called as motherboard. In the motherboard only they are mounting this ROM. Understand? Yes. Next thing is, another kind of memory called PROM. Okay. PROM means programmable read-only memory. So this ROM and all name itself having read-only memory. What's the meaning of read-only memory? Only we can able to read the content, but we can't able to edit the content, isn't it? So but here PROM, programmable read-only memory. So this memory is also called as what kind of memory? Non-volatile memory. So PROM is also called as which kind of memory? Non-volatile memory. So what's the meaning of non-volatile memory? So what are the contents already pre-recorded or already stored in that particular chip? It will remains static, or it will remains all the time whenever we are going to open or whenever we are going to see their content. Their contents will remain the same. Our contents will present on the same chip or same memory. So so only we are calling as an volatile memory. Sorry, non-volatile memory. Okay. So this PROM is also called as which kind of memory? Non-volatile memory. An important point. So here we can able to write the data only once. Okay. So once you are going to write the program on the PROM. Okay. How many times we can able to write the program in PROM? Only one time. That means we can able to install or we can able to write some programs in this memory at only once only you can able to write the program. Okay. But once you have already typed or entered the program in that particular PROM, okay, Once you have entered, the program will remain forever. That means till end. For example, at how many years you are going to using the particular system, or how many years you are going to using the particular ROM, till that the program remains the same in that PROM. Understand? Already you are going to write some program in PROM. So that programs remain, once you are written means the programs remain static, or the programs remains forever whenever you are going to use. Okay. So this PROM also, even when the computer, if you are going to switch off their computer means also the particular program or particular things you are storing in PROM will be remain the same. You would get delete. Okay. If the computer will turn off means also the contents available in PROM won't get delete. Understand? So what are the points you have studied in PROM? So please understand, differentiate and study. Okay. Otherwise surely you will get forget. Okay. Because all the things, if you are studying me RAM, ROM, PROM, next also a lot of memories are there. Almost all the things will be same. 1 or 2 points they are given in some different. So differentiate that point, understand and study. Okay. So what are things you have studied in PROM? It's a kind of non-volatile memory. So once how many times you can able to write a program? So you can able to write the program only once on the particular memory. Once you have entered the program on the PROM means you can't able to delete. That program will remain. How many times you are going to use, at that time fully you can able to use that program, or you can able to view the program. Okay. So this PROM also, the content won't get delete even when the computer is turned off, or if you are going to off the computer also the content won't get delete. The contents will remain the same in PROM. Understand? Yes. Listen. Next this important question. So likewise they will ask the differentiate between all the memories, maybe in RAM and ROM, PRAM and ROM, EPROM. Likewise they will ask for differentiation. So listen carefully. Okay. So here how this PROM will differs from ROM. So what's the differentiate between PROM and ROM? Okay, listen. So we on the designing time of PROM, so while starting stage they are designed the PROM as a blank memory. Okay, for example you are going to buy one new memory card. So whether they will copy or copy any files in the memory card. So listen how this PROM is different from ROM. Okay. So what's the first difference means? So what the manufacturing time, while they are manufacturing, this PROM is manufactured as a blank memory. Okay. What's the meaning of that one means? For example, you are going to buy one new memory card or SD card. So once you are buying the new memory card, whether they will copy any files or whether they will give any files inside the memory card? No. So, initially whether there any files is there? No. It's a blank thing, isn't it? Likewise, at the manufacturing time of PROM, we are manufactured the PROM as a blank memory. Okay. At that time, while manufacturing time, they are not going to write any program. So, at that time, the memory will be blank. But in case of ROM, okay, already I explained about ROM. So, in case of ROM, what they will do? At the designing time, or that is pre-recorded data or pre-recorded program, pre-loaded program. Already explained, no? So, at the in case of ROM, while manufacturing time itself, they are programmed in the ROM chip. Understand what's the first difference? So, PROM, while the manufacturing time, they are not going to write any program on the PROM. So, in manufacturing, so at that manufactured, PROM becomes considered as a blank memory. But ROM is not like that. So manufacture time, manufacturing time itself, they are going to design a program or pre-recorded program is there in the manufacture time. Okay. So next point. So in case of PROM, so at the designing time, that means at manufacturing day, they are not going to write any program. They are considered PROM as a blank memory. But particular person or particular programmer or particular engineer is going to enter some data on the PROM chip. Okay. But manufacturing time, they are not going to write any program. But for example, they are going to install all the parts in the computer. Okay. At the manufacturing time, they are not going to write any program. But they are, after manufactured everything, they are assembling or they are installing all the parts inside the CPU. So at that time, a particular programmer will write some programs on PROM. Okay, otherwise a particular programmer or particular designer or particular engineer going to write some data or informations on that PROM chip. Okay, that person we are calling as an PROM programmer. Okay, the person who enters the data into the PROM chip at the time of installing, that person we are calling as an whom? PROM programmer. Okay, PROM programmer or PROM burner. So who is PROM programmer or PROM burner? Person who leads to write some data to PROM chip. That person we are calling as a PROM programmer or PROM burner. Okay, important question. So that this process of programming in PROM we are calling as a burning the PROM. Okay, so important 2 mark question. What do you mean by burning the PROM? So what do you mean by burning the PROM? So if they ask for this question means 3 mark means you should write this 3 point. Okay. So at the manufacture, what the first point you will write? At the time of manufacturing, PROM will consider as a blank memory. In the case of manufacturing, there are no contents there in PROM. Okay. But in ROM, in manufacturing time itself, the pre-recorded program is there in ROM chip. But PROM is not like that. So, particular designer or programmer or engineer is going to write or enter some data on the PROM while the time of installation. So, particular person we are calling as an PROM programmer or PROM burner. This process of programming in which device, which chip? PROM. This process we are calling as an burning the PROM. Understand? Yes. Next memory is EPROM. Okay, so ROM already we have studied. Then first just from name itself you understand and study. Okay, ROM, read only memory. That means preloaded program only we can able to read. Okay, ROM. Next thing, PROM, programmable read only memory. What's the meaning of that one? At the manufacturer there is no program, but at the time of installation, a program burner will write program. That is programmable. Okay. So here, erasable programmable read-only memory. EPROM. Okay. Understand? Listen. So this memory is also one special kind of memory. So this working of PROM and EPROM is almost the same. Okay. So the working of PROM as well as EPROM almost the same. So what's the main thing here means the content available in this PROM chip can be able to erased by using ultraviolet rays. Important 1 mark question. Maximum they will ask this question for 2 mark or 3 mark. Okay. Last year also they asked this question 2 or 3 times. Okay. EPROM. What do you mean by EPROM? Erasable. Name itself erasable. So the data available in this ROM chip can able to delete by one source. That source is called ultraviolet rays. Okay. The content available in that EPROM chip can be able to erase by using which one? Ultraviolet rays. Okay. So if ultraviolet rays falls on this chip means the content may get spoiled. Understand? But if the content gets spoiled also, we can able to reprogram that particular content. Okay. That's the important thing. So the content available in that PROM can be erased by using which rays? Ultraviolet rays. If the particular rays will fall or exposed in that particular chip, PROM chip means the content will get erased. If the content will get erased means also we can able to or it is possible to reprogram the particular program. Understand what do you mean by reprogram? Once again, we need to write the program. That is called as reprogram. The data we have stored in the PROM can be EPROM may get deleted or erased by using ultraviolet rays also. We can able to reprogram the memory. So by that name only they are calling an erasable programmable. So what's by name itself? Think and study. Erasable. So the content is erased by using which rays? Ultraviolet rays. Programmable. If the content is lost or if the content is deleted or erased means also we can able to reprogram. That is called as programmable. Just differentiate by the name itself you can study. Then only you will never get forget. Understand? Yes. So next thing, how this EPROM is differs from PROM. Okay. Already we have studied PROM differentiate between PROM and ROM. So this is the picture of EPROM. Okay. So mostly similar only. That PROM and PROM, this EPROM and mostly similar only. Only by the designing some things only inside their content are different. Okay. So what's the difference between EPROM and PROM? Okay. So already we have studied in PROM we can able to write the content how many times? Only one time. That means only once. So you can able to write the content only once in which memory? PROM memory. Okay. And also we can't able to erase that content also. Already we have studied once you can write the program in PROM means that means PROM, particular PROM programmer or burner will write the program or enter the data in particular PROM chip mean we can't able to erase. Only once. That means by a person, particular appropriate person only can able to enter the data or write the program on the particular chip. Who? PROM burner or PROM programmer. So PROM programmer can return the program how many times? Only once. Once you have entered the program on the PROM, you can't able to erase. Okay. So that's a important point. Where they have used in this EPROM means EPROMs are mainly used in personal computers. What do you mean by personal computers? Normal, maybe in laptops or computers we are using in our homes or personal purpose. That is called as personal computers. Okay, because only the manufacturer can able to replace the content. Okay, so if any error is there means only those who manufacture particular thing, that manufacturer person can only able to reprogram the chip. Okay, so that's the main important thing. What's the difference between EPROM and PROM? PROM we can able to write the program only once, but we can't able to erase. But EPROM the contents may get erased by using ultraviolet rays, but we can able to reprogram the particular memory. But this kind of EPROMs are mainly used in which kind of computers? Personal computers. Why? So if any fault is occur or if anything damage mean particular manufacturer or those who design that one, that person can able to replace or replace the contents based on the versions. New versions they will introduce, isn't it? Based on that versions they can able to reprogram the particular things even if the contents will get erased by using ultraviolet rays. Understand? So next thing is EEPROM. Okay, ROM you have studied, PROM you have studied, EPROM you have studied, EEPROM. EEPROM means electrically erasable programmable read-only memory. Okay, name itself having electrically erasable programmable read-only memory. Okay, so here electrically, a word itself having electrically erasable. So the data present in this ROM can able to get delete or erased by using which one? Electrical or electric charge. Okay, so what's the use of this one? So sometime, so the particular data or information or program present in this ROM can able to get deleted or erased or maybe get corrupted by using which charge? Electrically. That means by electric charge you can able to get lost the content or we can sometimes the particular data will get erased. Okay, by using which one? Electrically or electric charge. So only by they are calling this name as an electrically erasable programmable read-only memory. Okay, but what's the thing mean? If the content will lost means also, okay, for example, if you are going to switch off the computer means also particular content available in EPROM will be remain the same, won't get deleted. But in case of RAM, not like that. So what are the things stored in the RAM? If you are switch off the computer means, so the data present in RAM will get lost. But in case of ROM, not like that. The contents will always be present like that. Likewise, EPP-ROM also, even when the computer stand off or power is stand off means also you can able to get the content. Okay, so comparing to all these kinds of ROM, this EEPROM is very slower in performance. Performance is very slow. That's a disadvantage of EEPROM. Okay, so what are the points you have studied in EEPROM? So what do you mean by EEPROM? Electrically erasable, programmable, read-only memory. So what's the thing? Name itself having. So the data can get able to erase by means of which one? Electric charge. Even when the computer is switched off means also you can able to retain the contents once again. Okay. So we have already studied about programmable read-only memory, erasable programmable read-only memory, then electrically erasable. So compared to all these kinds of ROM, this EEPROM is very slow in performance. Understand? Yes. So till now we have studied about two types of memory. That means main heading I am telling. Two types. What are they? RAM as well as ROM. In RAM, what are things you have studied? Two types. Static RAM and dynamic RAM. That means SRAM and DRAM. Next heading is ROM. Under the ROM, what are the headings you have studied? ROM, read-only memory. Then PROM, programmable read-only memory. What do you mean by ROM? The content. What do you mean by ROM? The content is a permanent storage device, isn't it? Then PROM you have studied, programmable read-only memory. You can able to program. A particular burner we can able to program it. Then EPROM, erasable. So if the content will get erased, means also you can able to reprogram. EEPROM, electrically erasable. By means of electric charge, the content will get lost. So particular content, even when the computer is switched off also, the content remains the same. Isn't it? So up to that, two kinds of memory you have studied. Okay. So next kind of memory is called cache memory. Okay. What's the next kind of memory? Cache memory. Okay. So listen. So what do you mean by mobile also? You might have seen this word cache. Most of the mobiles you have studied cache memory or cache files. What do you mean by cache means? Cache memory or cache files means it is a smaller memory portion or smaller memory device. Okay. So for example, so I am going to set some files from the main memory. Okay. So this cache memory will present in between, that means or this cache memory acts the intermediary person between main memory and the user. Okay, understand? So listen, for example, I am going to get particular information from the main memory. The same information I am going to fetch at 5 times. Okay, so how many times I am going to fetch the information from the main memory? 5 times. So instead of I am going to main memory, I am searching the same information from first to last and fetching that particular detail. Instead of that, I am going to the main memory. The same details stored in cache memory means immediately I can able to fetch from the cache memory. Whether I need to go to main memory to fetch the details? No, because that details will present in cache memory itself. So directly I can able to get the information from cache memory. Understand? This is the concept of cache memory. At short, I'll explain. So listen, now listen. So this is the very high speed memory. Okay. So this cache memory is very high speed compared to other memory devices. This cache memory is very high speed memory device. Okay. And also this memory is expensive memory. What do you mean by expensive? Cost becomes very high. So compared to other memory devices, this cache memory is expensive. And also compared to other memory devices, cache memory becomes very speed. Okay. So compared to the other memory, the size becomes very smaller. So first itself I said the cache memory size becomes very smaller. So and the cost also becomes very high. Isn't it? Cost also becomes very high, but the memory size is very small compared to the other main memory devices. Okay, so one thing I explained, no, instead of I need to go to the CPU instead of I need to go to main memory to fetch the particular details. So the particular details need to store in cache memory means I will consume some more. For example, I said no, first itself I need to fetch some data from main memory. The same data I need to fetch 10 or 20 times or 5 times. So for me, whether it is a time consuming process, yes, isn't it? So for 10 times or 20 times I need to go there, I need to get the detail. Okay, one best example I am telling. So for example, your class may be in ground floor. Okay, so your office room may be in third floor. For example, I am telling. Okay, so you need to go to the office per day. Per day or one day you need to go to the office 5 times in single day. Or for example, one day you need to go to the office at 5 times for some purpose. For example, for paying fees or getting some things from store or anything. Okay, instead of you are going, so you need to pay the fees for you, maybe your friend, 5 friends I think. Okay, so instead of you are going to the office to the third floor 4 to 5 times, any one person come and get collected the particular fees detail from you and he or she will pay the fees to the office. Whether which one is easy? You need to go to the office 5 times, that is easy. Or particular person collected all the things and go to the office and pay the fees. Which one is easy? Particular person will get, no, that is easy. The same concept only, instead of I am going to fetch some details from the main memory, I am going to keep one intermediary memory called cache memory. Why? For that my time will get reduced. But I am going to that main memory and getting the information all the time means it will consume more time. Okay, for that purpose I am keeping this cache memory. That's the use of cache memory. Understand? Yes. Listen, so the same thing only. So frequently you can able to get the data from the cache memory. Okay, so instead of going, listen, see this diagram. So in this diagram, access time and response time. For example, I am telling what do you mean by access time and response time. For example, I am teaching some lessons to you. So how at what capacity you are getting or what capacity you are accessing or what capacity you are understanding particular things I am teaching. That is called access time. Then I am asking particular questions from some topic or the what topic I am teaching now. The same topic I will ask some questions regarding something. So if you answer suddenly means your response time will fast. If I ask some questions, you will be sitting and keep quiet and sit. Whether the response time will good? No. Now understand what you mean by access time and response time? Yeah. Likewise, this instead of going to the main memory, we can able to listen. This is main memory. This if you are going to get some informations. What input we are going means some input you are giving. So if input you are giving means that input directly comes to which device? CPU. So if this cache memory is not there means directly I need to go to main memory. So I need to search whether the content is present in main memory or not. It is a time consuming. So for that I can give some intermediary person or intermediary device called what? Cache memory. Okay, so what do you mean by access time means? So the request I am giving this side arrow. The request from CPU is given to main memory. That means particular information I need to get. That is called as request time. So what do you mean by response time? For that request, particular data will fetch and given to CPU. That is called as what? Response time. Okay, so that only we are calling as another name read operation and write operation. Okay, otherwise read request and write request. What request you are giving, that request becomes fast. The request from CPU to cache memory, it will get fast. But if request from CPU to main memory will get means your response time will get slow. For that only they have mentioned. From cache memory, if you get the result means your result will get fast. But if you get directly from main memory means the result will get slow. Understand? Yes. Next topic is secondary storage devices. Okay, so name itself having secondary. So some secondary devices we are going to study. Okay, so listen here. What do you mean by secondary storage devices means? Other than this components present inside the CPU or other than the memory things present inside the CPU, we are going to insert some new memory devices from outside the environment. Understand what do you mean by secondary storage device? Already primary memory is there, secondary memory is there, RAM, ROM, EPROM, lot of things are present inside the CPU, isn't it? Beyond that memories, you are going to insert some new memory devices from external environment. For what? Storing some data. That is called as which kind of device? Secondary storage device. Okay. So, these secondary storage devices are used to store the data permanently. What do you mean by permanently? So, once you store the data means at how many times you need to see, at all the times you can able to see the particular data. That's called permanent data. So, it won't get deleted. If you either you need to will delete, otherwise the data will be present permanent. Okay, so this secondary storage device acts as a supporting memory to the main memory. Okay, this memory device always will give as a supporting memory device to main memory. Okay, so these secondary devices are also a non-volatile in nature. What do you mean by non-volatile? The contents present in that memory will permanent, won't get deleted. Either you needs to delete, otherwise by itself it won't get deleted. That's the meaning of non-volatile. Okay. So we are calling this storage device is called as backup storage. Okay. What do you mean by backup storage? The things you need to store in a particular memory. At what time you need to view that file. At that time you can pin that device and you can able to view that file. That is called backup. Okay. So what do you mean by secondary storage device? Secondary storage device is you can able to store the data permanently. So for that purpose you are using secondary storage device. So this device it acts as a supporting memory to main memory. This is also a non-volatile. The contents won't get deleted immediately. The secondary storage is calling other name is called as backup storage. Important one mark. Secondary storage is otherwise called as backup storage. Okay. So, first secondary storage device is hard disk. Okay. What's the first secondary storage device? Hard disk. Okay. So, this is the image or picture of a hard disk. Is it visible for you? See. So, this is the supportive memory device in a computer. So, this only we are calling as which device? Hard disk. Okay. So, in this hard disk, you can able to store data. For example, based on their capacity, you can able to store the data. 500 GB hard disk is there, 1 TB hard disk is there, 250 GB hard disk is there. Likewise, 250 GB means you can able to store the data up to 250 GB. 500 GB means you can able to store the data 500 GB. 1 TB means 1 TB. Okay, so this hard disk is a magnetic disk. Okay, so this hard disk is a which kind of disk? Magnetic disk. So you can able to store the data in this disk. Okay, so this hard disk if you seen in the CPU means the hard disk can be arranged as a stack arrangement. Okay, so what do you mean by stack? Stack means one another one. Okay, one by one arrangement. First hard disk you can arrange, then above next one, above next one. Likewise, that is a stack arrangement. Okay, so this is the stack arrangement of a disk. Okay, so how you can able to access this disk mean a pair of heads for each disk. So each hard disk has a particular head. That means head like structure. By you can able to access, this is the internal structure of the hard disk. You can able to, the particular system can able to access by a heads, by the head structure from the hard disk. Okay, so this hard disk can able to have two single or double sided disk. Maybe the hard disk have single disk or double sided disk. Understand? So this see this picture of this is a external view of the hard disk. This hard disk you can able to store the data. So how it will arrange in CPU? It is stack arrangement, one another, one by one. Or one, first you need to place one, next above another one you can place. How the data are accessed from the hard disk means by a head position or pair of heads for each of two hard disk you are mounting in the CPU means from the heads of the particular hard disk you can able to connect and get the information. Okay, so this hard disk have a both single sided hard disk also there, double sided hard disk also there. Understand? Next thing is compact disk. This already you know, CD. What do you mean by compact disk? CD. Okay. So this already most all the students have seen CD, isn't it? You know very well. So this CD, other name is CD-ROM. Okay. So this CD-ROM is what's the thickness? 1.2. This and all important 1 mark question. Note it down. Okay. So CD is made up of how much? The thickness of CD is 1.2 millimeters. What's the thickness of CD? 1.2 millimeters. Okay. So this CD is made up of what kind of material? Means polycarbonate plastic material. Okay. So what's this CD is made up of what kind of material? Polycarbonate material. Okay. So if you see in the CD means you can able to view some shining part, like isn't it shining colors will displayed or glitter from the CD. You can see, isn't it? Yes. So how you can see mean a thin layer of aluminium is applied on the surface. So only if the sunlight or light falls on means the particular surface will get glitter. Isn't it? How a thin layer of, so above the surface a thin layer of aluminium or gold is applied on the surface of the CD. So only if the light falls on the CD, the surface will get glitter. Understand? So in CD, what's the use of CD? You can able to store data. What are the data? Maybe images, songs, videos, anything. So the data you are storing in the CD you are calling as an bits. Okay, so the data inside the CD. So here you are storing data, isn't it? That data in the CD we are calling as an what? Bits. Okay, tiny indentation. Tiny means small bits. Already I said. So you are to give the input to the computer by means of a bits. Likewise, you are storing the information in the CD. In that small tiny information, a small portion of the information we are calling as an what? Bits. That only we are giving small portion. Okay, so this all the things are molded in that. If you see means you can see. So for example, the CD is there. I am going to write the CD at the half position. So you can able to see at the half position only you are going to copy some files. So how it means it will encode in spiral track. Spiral track means this like. Okay, for example, up to this much of portion. I have written some files on up to this much of portion mean half portion. Then full portion mean that means spiral shaped it will wrote the data on the CD. That only they are telling encoded in spiral track module. So that only we are calling as an tracks. Okay, first track, second track, third track. Likewise, first track one circle, second track second, third track third circle. Okay, so the particular information is encoded in spiral track. So at the top of this already you have studied, top of this CD is encoded with surrounded by which layer? Polycarbonate layer. Okay, so already I said the information, small information we are stored in the CD we are calling as an what? Bits. Okay, so the area between these bits we are calling as an LANs. Okay, see this and all small bits you are storing inside the CD. The area in between these bits we are calling as an what? LANs. Okay, listen, in the CD a small motor like structure is there that used to rotate the disc. Which portion used to rotate the CD player? A motor like structure. Okay, so the normal capacity or ordinary capacity of CD is 700 MB. This is also important question. So what are the things you have studied in CD? CD is how much thickness it will be? 1.2 millimeters. So this CD is made up of which kind of plastic material? Polycarbonate plastic material. So how it will glitter? A layer of aluminium or gold is applied on the surface of the CD. So what's the use of CD? You can able to store some data. the small information storing in this CD we are calling as an bits. So this information will get molded on the basis of spiral. How it will get molded? Spiral basis. So the area between the bits we are calling as an lens. So a motor like structure is there used to rotate the disc. What's the maximum capacity? 700 MB. Okay. So today we have studied lot of memory devices. RAM already we have discussed. ROM, then secondary storage devices. Two things. What are they? This compact disk as well as hard disk. Okay. So please study. So what's the today's assignment means? So you should study this characteristics of a microprocessor, then memory hierarchy and all this memory questions. Okay. RAM, ROM, EPROM. So today you should study and write. What's assignment mean? Today's assignment you should write RAM, ROM, EPROM and EEPROM and also characteristics of microprocessor. Today you should study and write, then only you will never get forget. Thank you students. Thank you.